time for episode 1 of the Falcons rebuild. I'm going to try to go through a little bit fast because, of course, the NFL season's over. It's the NBA playoffs, so I'll get into some 2K as well at some point. But taking a look at the roster for the first time, it sucks. It really does. We have Kyle Pitts, who, if you didn't watch the last episode, I adjusted abilities, and Kyle Pitts went down just because he didn't do anything last year in terms of getting in the end zone. And 86 is already high in my book. But anyway, it's a rough team. Offensive line, obviously we have Chris Lindstrom. It's not the worst. Offensive line is definitely serviceable for this first year. We're not going to prioritize the offensive line. Receivers suck. They are absolutely terrible. Running backs, like at this point, I might have to just move Cordero to receiver. Defense, on the other hand, is very good. Calais Campbell, who somehow is still very, very good at 36 years old, was a big signing. They still have Grady Jarrett on the defense side of the ball. I hate how it puts me back to offense. They signed Onyemata from, I want to say, the Saints. And then they have this dude, Abekidi, who I don't remember, but he has head and depth, so we'll probably try to move Onyemata. Corners, they traded for Jeff Okudah, who's kind of been not so good for being drafted like in the top 10 a couple years ago. Mike Hughes, AJ Terrell, or Terrell Island as it was 2 years ago. Jesse Bates was a big signing from the Bengals. Richie Grant, I believe, at the other safety position. He's out, so I just want to get off the offense. It's disgusting. Now the linebackers are another issue. Yeah, Bud Dupree. Lorenzo Carter. That's not Lorenzo. Maybe it is. It is Lorenzo Carter. I was thinking of Lorenzo Alexander, and I was like, no, he was a Bills legend that played for 35,000 years. But the linebackers are rough. We'll probably try to prioritize that in the draft. But other than that, I mean, the defense is solid. It is. Definitely want to try to get a good stand-up linebacker in the draft and a pass rusher. And other than that, the defense is fine. Offensively, definitely need a receiver. 100%. So we'll take a look at the draft class when we have the opportunity. But this episode is going to be the preseason. I'm going to play all the preseason games. It's going to be a mix-up doing the moments and whatnot. And then I'll edit out whatever I feel like needs to be so this video isn't forever long. There should be another thing I have for Madden. Give us an option right under full pads to just do the entire team for backup starters or splits. I don't have to go back and do this every freaking practice. That would be great. But at the end of this preseason, I'll go and adjust any coordinator changes I want to make and any playbook changes I want to make. But for now, I'm just going to do this. I'm not worried about the game plan too much. I just wanted to make sure the backups got reps since it is preseason. Okay. No, I'm not going to scroll through all that. No one gives a shit. A few player upgrades. Matt Hennessy, there's a starter getting an upgrade. Playing left guard. As you see, I have so many upgrade options here for him. And I think my game froze, which is great because, why would it not freeze? It's Madden. Oh, it didn't freeze. It just took eternity to load. This game is so just dog shit. You're gonna hear me complain about Madden a lot. So if you don't like complainers, you're not gonna like this channel. Or at least you're not gonna like the Madden content. I don't really complain about 2K as much. I just complain that the game doesn't always work. Anyway, I digress. So, if I remember correctly, Madden does preseason where every game that happens, the starters play an extra quarter. So this game they'll play one quarter. I don't need to explain it. But if you're wondering why there's no volume, it's because I hate hearing Charles Davis and Brandon Cotton, and I hate hearing the same 3 songs in the Madden playlist. So it's just everything's just muted on the game. Plus, like, why would you not rather hear me speak? But anyway. First drive here, Heineke is, I guess, the starter. He's the highest overall, so we will have Heineke under center with Patterson in the backfield. We're going to hand it off to Patterson to start. McGarry not McGarry, whatever our left guard's name is, I just said Hennessy was able to get to the second level that time, but we still get nothing. That's gonna be a pick. Yeah, that's me being an idiot. Welcome to my Madden gameplay. It's normally not this bad. I mean, that was literally the first throw I made on the series, and it was a pick. It's normally not that bad. I am worried though because we have 0 pass rush, and for some reason we're supposed to come out with 3 on the line. Got no pressure, and Jared Goff checks it down for 10 yards. So decent coverage, all things considered. I forgot they signed David Montgomery. He's gonna get it there, and we're able to get up to him. Stop 3-3, and Graham Glasgow, one of their guards, gets hurt. You don't want to see that. Go ahead and base the line. A little fullback dive action, and we're able to get there and stop him behind the line. Don't know who was first there. It was Lorenzo Carter who was the first one there. Second and goal here. It's like bench as the play. It's not. It's an inside zone. And Lorenzo Carter is right there again for another no gain. Kind of carrying the defense right now. It's a pass. I'm going to shade the corners inside. Great defense by Jeff Okudah and Jameson Williams. And our defense holds. We hold. Alright. So bring the offense back out here. After an absolute shit showing. Went 2 plays and a pick. We're going to take it out of here with Hughes. Gets a good block, but I get to the 19? Yeah. So Heineke's back on the field after being 0 for 1 with a pick. Great start to the game. Come out with a 3 tight end set that we're going to pass out of. Heineke on the move. That's another pick. Yeah. I was like, let me see if he can throw. I don't know what kind of hit that was, but let me see if he can throw across his body. I mean, on the run. So it turns out he can. That was an accurate throw. We'll throw Desmond Ridder in the game. Whew. Yeah, Heineke. I'm sorry, my boy. It's wham. I called it. And there's nothing I could do about it because the game pulled me into that block. But, touchdown Detroit. Like I said, my gameplay is not ever this. I mean, sometimes it's this bad, but it's normally not this bad. We'll see what Desmond Ridder can do. Who, I don't really know if anyone considers him a franchise quarterback. I don't know if the Falcons consider him one. He was like a 3rd round pick. Definitely a day 2 pick. So I don't really know how much they expect to get out of him, how many years they do as a starter. But hey, if he turns out to be one, then good for him, I guess. That's an accurate ball to Drake London, the rookie. Or 2nd year rookie in this Madden. You understand. That was a very, very accurate ball. It's beautiful. We have our check down here in case we need it, but Kyle Pitts is open. Nice gain there at 4, I believe. Yeah, what was he picked? Third round, I was right. Yeah, they took London. 1st round. I want to say all the 1st round receivers this year were all good. Like, they were no bust. There were no Jalen Riggers. Oh, I threw it way late. Ridder almost got picked off. That would have been 6. This one's probably going to Pitts. That linebacker's playing off. If he comes up short, we're going to Matt Collins. He came up short. Matt Collins. Great throw there by Desmond Ridder right over the middle. Delivers a strike for the 1st time. Alright, 1st and 10 here. Another good block there by Matt Hennessy. Moving up to the 2nd level. So often in Madden you'll see the guards get stuck on the defensive lineman and not get up to the 2nd level in time. And that really pisses me off. Collins again. No, I threw it too late. Kyle pitch chasing down. Alright. We're gonna try something new here. Like I promise you. I'm not the best at Madden, but I'm not this bad. If you don't believe me, go watch some of the Bears games. I also had adjusted sliders in the Bears game. That was supposed to make it harder. Whose zone is that? That's not mine. I'm like 99% sure that's not mine. Whatever. We're driving. We're driving down the field. Let's not blow it. 3rd and 8 here. Kyle Pitts is bigger. Like, I really wanted to start out. Drake London, hell, he's bigger. I gotta stop predetermining when I'm gonna throw the ball. But at the same time, I have Tracy Walker has 3 picks. A 71 overall quarterback and a 69 overall quarterback. So even if I make the right reads, there's a solid chance the ball's still gonna get picked off. Oh, it's just rough. There's Darby, who turns up the field. Gonna rush to the line, hand it off to Tyler Algier here. Gets first down. Nope, does not. Jermaine Ifedi. He's hurt. That is our backups in here. That would be our backup right guard. Yeah, of course the backups are in the second quarter. Gonna try to hit Jonnu Smith here. No, we'll hit whoever this dude is. Bernhardt. I don't know what your name is. I don't know who you are. I apologize. I just want to go about Young Wei Koo, and it is 3rd and 4 here. We'll hop in. They're playing off 1 or 2 outside receivers. Okay, he just couldn't hold on to the ball. That's not how you impress your coach, Darby. We were not going to kick the field goal. We'll let them kick the field goal. I mean, alright, our offense has showed up since I started simming. 3rd and 10 here. I don't know why we'd run play action. Especially when they're showing double mug, they don't bring it. And we get sacked anyway. I was holding triangle. Houston's able to get home, and that's going to be a big loss. We're going to be forced to punt. And we cannot keep him out the end zone. We're down 17. We're probably going to lose this game. It's 4th and 12. Hodge is my primary receiver. There is one single high safety. Hodge was open, but the safety was closer on his side, and that's just a shit throw by Desmond Ritter. That was fucking terrible. And they're going to go score 2 more times before the game's over. Or, wait. Yeah, they're going to go score 2 more times. That's going to be a catch there by Jonnu Smith. We're going to just run hurry up. Obviously, this is just for pride. We got fucking destroyed. This one's probably going to go to Darby or Smith. We'll see what the linebackers do. It's going to Darby. Great catch. Makes up for the drop he had earlier. Let's see if Hodge can get open again. If not, I might have to hit Smith on this whip route. Nope, that was just a bad throw. I was throw out of sack. 4th and 7 here, big play. Not that it matters, but big play for the offense. Maybe Hodge gets open. Dude, like, he was so open, and I did try to lead him inside, but not that far inside. We do get the ball back here. That's not good, though. I don't want the ball back. We'll just cut our losses and go home. There's a good throw. I would say Hodge is playing well, but he's really not. He's just getting schemed open. It's not like he's running great routes or anything, and I'm gonna have that Ifedi thing up there for the rest of the game. Oh no, it went away. Clutch. I mean, if this was a game, I'd just check it down, but it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna go deeper. 23-44. That's absolutely terrible. That's going to be... Oh, what the see? It doesn't really matter who I throw it to because you're going to have throws like that. I would love to see Hodge get open on this route, but it always takes too long to develop. Told you. Pittman with the sack. A 3rd and 18. We're going to put Fitzpatrick on a go route, see if we can hit him down the seam. We can't. I don't know why Algier would stop, but he gets the edge anyway. That's a first down. Great play there by Desmond Ridder. Great hits-up play. I don't know how he didn't get out of bounds. Great throw. Ridder can make these throws over the middle of the field easily. But if you try to throw it to the outside, they're going to put Darby on a go. I had triangle. I was holding it. I was trying to see what that safety was doing because I really want to throw it to the outside. See if Desmond Ridder can make the throw. See, like over the middle of the field, he can deliver an accurate ball. Like if I high pass that one's probably going for 6, maybe. But when you over the middle of the field, yeah, like I've been saying, he's solid. There's one. Nope. 1 second left. I want Iguodala. I'm gonna put Smith on a go and then have Algier run block or pass block from the other side. Not that any of this matters. Just make some adjustments there. High throw, out of bounds. Nice. So Ridder 25 for 50, 276, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Rough game. Rough game 1. Definitely rough game 1. I will see you guys at game 2. Alright, so welcome to game 2 against the Jets in East Rutherford. It's 7-7 here. We're hopping in for the moment. It's a big first quarter drive. Going to start off with a stretch play to Patterson. A little hard cut for 2 yards. 6 rushes already for Patterson. That's going to have to be our offensive scheme in the regular season is run the ball. Establish the run because we don't have a quarterback that I trust. They had great protection that play. 1 for 2, 49 yards and a tutty. We had great protection. I just held the ball too long. Gonna try to hit Drake London here depending on the zone. We can't. That's a pick. That's a pick. That's a pick. As soon as I hit the button, it was a pick. Damn it. Like, I don't even know. I mean, I don't want to go watch it back because I know it was absolute shit. But there's just no excuse for that. I can't even think of an excuse that I can lie to y'all about. That was just a shit decision by me. But 4th and 2, fullback dive. Fullback dive. That's a first. Thank you. Thank you. Might have gotten stonewalled, but he got the first. First step from the 13. This angle route by Patterson should get open, especially with the superstar ability. Yep, it got open, but I got sacked. Loss of 10. That's Quincy Williams, I believe. Nope, it was Quinton. No, it was Quincy. I was about to say, he's so much bigger than him. So much bigger than him. Great catch by Drake London, and he's in the end zone. That'll tie the game up. Defense holds tough. Holds him to the 19. Milf Wilson behind under center. Behind under, I can't spell. Or speak. I can't speak. I don't think that's my fault. I think the linebacker standing next to me had drifted out of his zone into my zone for some fucking reason. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. So thank you for that. Alright, we were there to plug the hole. We just got blocked, and Brees Hall gets taken out to 1. Second and goal here. We're just going to guess right up the middle. We have nothing to lose. We're able to get to him immediately. Love to see it. You really do. That was Grady Jarrett. So the audio cut out. That's why there's no gameplay at the end. The audio cut out, so I'm doing a little voiceover here. But we ended up losing that game, as you can see by the 0-2 record. And after, I kind of just wanted to look at trades. This roster is so bad that I was like thinking like, okay, let's try to see if we can get any value for some of the older guys on the roster. But I didn't want to trade anyone that was just signed to keep it realistic, because if I was doing like a quick rebuild, I would trade Jesse Bates. He's a superstar, so I can get some really good value back for him. But I already knew in my mind I wanted to trade Grady Jarrett. I have that head end of rookie, and then we also signed Calais Campbell, who I would have loved to trade, but obviously we just signed him. So I look at these trades for a while, so you can kind of fast forward through it. If you want to see how unrealistic the offers are, you can watch it all. I did want an offensive player. Looking back, I should have taken that Hollywood Brown trade because he has an 84 overall rating in Madden, which is high. But I didn't. Brandon Cooks is a little too old, so I didn't look at that. I was getting offered a lot of corners. I got offered Devondre Campbell, who was an All-Pro 2 years ago, first-team All-Pro. So that was funny right there. Adam Thielen, but he's 80,000 years old, and the Panthers just signed him. Juju just got signed by the Patriots, so I didn't want to trade for anyone that was just signed. Just to keep it realistic. Like Jordan Brooks would have been good because we do need linebackers, but I wanted someone on offense. And I should have taken that Hollywood Brown trade, but I ended up going back to this Bengals trade with Orlando Brown. I don't take it, but it gets me thinking. Have a solid tackle in Jake Matthews and a serviceable tackle in, I believe it's Caleb McGarry. But McGarry's more of a run blocker. So I wanted to trade for Jonah Williams because he's younger. He requested a trade. He's not going to play because they signed Orlando Brown. So I ended up kind of botching the trade a little bit and going to a different team and whatever here. But I ended up getting Jonah Williams and a third round for Grady Jarrett. So not the worst haul in the world. I believe that's exactly what I got. Yeah. Yep, so we get that trade going, and we move our left tackle, who I believe is Caleb McGarry, move him to guard, and then we put Jonah Williams out there. So, yep, that's what we did there. And then that was the end, really, of the week 2 of the preseason. So we're back, and we were facing the Jaguars in our last preseason game, and I figured out what happened with the audio. After the first take, the game audio ended up turning itself on, and so you can't really hear me over the annoying voice of the commentators. So I just decided to mute it instead of trying to listen to me while trying to block out the annoying people that talk. So I'm just going to do a voiceover for the rest of this, so it'll kind of become a sort of podcast, essentially, other than, versus me trying to call it play-by-play to a game that I already played. But, I guess I'll kind of map out what I hope to do with this team. So, I don't know. Their rosters, it's so weird because they need a quarterback like most teams that need to be rebuilt. But beyond that, there's really not that much they need. It's just they don't have any sort of future at quarterback. Drake London, I think, is going to be a number 1, so they could get some. They definitely need depth at receiver, obviously a tight end. Like I said, the offensive line is solid. The defense is solid. The secondary is great. The defensive line, it's a 3-4 scheme, so we really just need a pass rusher and 1 or 2 linebackers. But when you keep that all in account, I think we're only about 5 players away from being a Super Bowl team. Like, there's 5 positions we need to fix. Quarterback number 1, receiver number 2, pass rusher number 3, linebacker number 4, and tight end number 5. I think those are the 5 spots they got to improve in order to become a very good team. And in real life, they have the chance to do that in the draft. They can go out and get a receiver. They can definitely get one of the top 2 or 3 receivers in this year's draft. JSN would be huge here. I don't really know how they feel about Ritter, but from what I've heard, they don't plan on taking a quarterback like high in the first round from what I've heard. So I think they're content with rolling with Ritter. Obviously, he could end up being a franchise quarterback. I don't know. Justin Madden, he's not. But I don't know what they're going to do with that pick. If I were them, I would take a pass rusher. I mean, it all depends on who's next. I would take a receiver or a pass rusher, whichever is the best available out of those 2 positions. But we'll see what they do. As far as the team I'm playing, the Jaguars, of course, they made huge improvements between Urban Meyer and Doug Peterson. Trevor Lawrence took a step forward. I think the only thing for them is getting some depth on the offensive line and kind of fixing that secondary. If I remember correctly, their top corner, Griffin, is gone. He might not have been their top corner, but I know he was a starter there, and I'm pretty sure he's gone. Trevon Walker was interesting. Like, first overall pick, kind of a hybrid dude, so I'm trying to think of a player comparison. I guess you could say the same skill set as Micah Parsons, just toned down in the sense where he can rush the passer, but he can also drop back in coverage. He's kind of like inverse or reverse Micah Parsons, as Micah Parsons is better as a pass rusher but can still drop in coverage, and Walker was better in coverage but can still rush the passer. I feel like that's the only player comp I can really give him as of right now. There's not, you either got edge rushers or you got coverage linebackers. It's rare that you see both, or both in the same guy. But yeah, he had a weird rookie season because he was drafted and then I didn't hear a single thing about him. There was no Bleacher Report alert of Trevon Walker having a highlight play or him having a crazy stat line in a game or him doing something insane. But then there was also no Trevon Walker's a bust or Trevon Walker got benched or Trevon Walker isn't playing or he got hurt or anything. He got drafted and then just became a normal NFL player. Nothing crazy. So that was interesting to say the least. So I really don't know how he was because, of course, I don't watch a ton of Jaguar games. I mean, honestly, I don't think anyone did because no one thought they were going to be any good. So I don't really know where they go moving forward because I don't know the roster too well. I do just know they need help in the secondary and on the interior of that offensive line. And I guess on the outside as well because Cam Robinson ended up getting signed by the Chiefs. So I really don't know who's out there playing tackle at all for the Jaguars here. But yeah. So today, I recorded this yesterday, but today is Aaron Rodgers got traded yesterday. So gonna talk about that a little bit. I'm a Packers fan. I wasn't a Packers fan until Aaron Rodgers got traded. I was a Packers fan, and then I stopped being a fan until Aaron Rodgers got traded. I wanted him gone. And I think we got a killer haul for him. We got a 2-spot pick swap, which isn't that big of a deal, an extra second, a 6 next year, and a guaranteed second next year that will likely be a first because Rodgers has to play 65% of the snaps this coming year. And I think he will do that, especially if he doesn't get hurt. So I think that's a guaranteed another first-round pick. Now, of course, it probably will be a late first-round pick, given how good the Jets were with shit quarterback play. And getting a Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers is only going to make them, of course, way better. So it'll probably be a late 20, maybe the 30th, around there. Could even be the last. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets made a Super Bowl run. But I like the compensation we got. The Jets ended up clearing $46 million cap by converting his contract to a bonus. I don't really know how it affected the Packers cap. I haven't looked into that yet, but I like the trade as a Packers fan. I'm excited to see what Jordan Love can do. I mean, we traded up for him, 3 years ago? 3 years ago now. So I'm excited to see what he can do. I hope to God we draft JSN with the 13th pick. We just shouldn't take a defender. We really shouldn't. We took a linebacker and an interior lineman last year, our two biggest holes on defense. The only position I could see us taking is a safety because Savage is inconsistent and Amos is still amazing, but he's getting up there in age. But we can get those in the later rounds. We got to take a receiver. Like, we have to. Or I wouldn't be pissed if we took Michael Mayer, but taking a tight end at 13 is really high. Like, he better become a top 5 tight end his rookie year. You know, you don't really just see tight ends go that early. Same with running backs, but I couldn't really see us taking a lineman. I like Nyman out there at right tackle. Of course, Bakhtiari at left with Jenkins in the middle. Josh Myers is starting to come on. And then the other guard, I'm blanking on who it is. It used to be Runyon. I don't think it's Runyon anymore. But I just feel like we have to take a receiver here. We just have to. Unless Jordan Love just looks like absolute dog shit and like Stroud is somehow available at 13. I mean, obviously, I don't know how good Stroud looks, so I can't really speak on that. But if we take a quarterback, I want it to be Stroud, not Levis. If Stroud isn't there, I don't want to take a quarterback. Obviously, if Jordan Love looks good, then we don't need a quarterback at all. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you just have to wait and see. Draft's in 2 days now. I'm excited for it. I'm a North Carolina native, so I support the Panthers and, of course, grew up around just Panthers fans. So I'm excited to see them take Bryce Young with the first overall pick, hopefully. That's the guy I want them to take. That's the guy all my Panther friends want them to take. It's just the most logical thing. I thought it was Stroud at first. I thought he was a lock, and then that little test came out where he got an 18% on, whether that's true or not. And his odds went way down. But as an Ohio State fan, so if you haven't seen any of my other videos, the teams I like, I'm an Ohio State fan. I was born in Ohio. My dad went there. You know, if you're from Ohio, you grew up a Buckeye fan, not a Cavs fan, not a Bengals or Browns fan, just a Buckeye fan. The Ohio State football is the professional team in Ohio. So I grew up an Ohio State fan. I lived in North Carolina, so my brother was born here, so I, of course, watched a ton of Panthers games and went to a ton, so I'm a Panther supporter. And then I fell in love with the Packers. They were the first NFL team I ever watched. Liked them ever since when I was a kid. So I support the Packers. And then NBA, since the Hornets have sucked and will suck for eternity, I kind of just gravitate towards whatever team my favorite player is on. And my favorite players right now, Damian Lillard has been my favorite player for years, so I like watching and supporting the Blazers, even though their front office is retarded. And then I love Giannis, so I do like watching Bucks games. Also, is Wisconsin Packers, so a little connection there. But those are the teams I support. Ohio State is my life, my lifeblood. So I eat, sleep, and breathe Ohio State football. When they win, I have a good week. When they lose, I have a bad week. With all that being said, I wanted to preface that to say this: as a huge Ohio State fan, I would take Bryce Young first. I just look at Bryce Young, and I look at the guys he was throwing to, and I look at what he did with the guys he was throwing to, and it's way more impressive than watching C.J. Stroud throw to the NFL Rookie of the Year in Garrett Wilson, the NFL Rookie of the Year runner-up in Chris Olave, and then Jackson Smith and Jigba, that his first year, and then his second year throwing to future, probably top 15 pick Jackson Smith and Jigba, future top, maybe even top 5 pick in Marvin Harrison Jr. his entire career. And when you look at that and you look at his lack of athleticism compared to Bryce Young, not that he's not an athlete, because he is, just not the athlete Bryce Young is, it makes me wonder, like, you know, yes, he's bigger. Like, the big thing on Young is he's short and small, but I don't know. I just look at Stroud and I'm like, he's thrown to top 5 receivers his entire career. In college, can he, in the Panthers, you know, their best receiver right now is aged out, washed Adam Thielen. I wouldn't really call him washed, but he's washed compared to what he once was. And Terrace Marshall, who's very underrated, but, you know, You're taking a guy that was throwing to top 15 NFL picks, and you're putting him on a team with an undrafted receiver who ended up being very good, obviously, and then like a third rounder. And you're going to ask him to have a good year, obviously. And I don't know. I would just trust Bryce Young more because we've seen what he can do with subpar receivers. So that's why I would go with Bryce Young. Also, this day and age is going towards dual threat quarterbacks, and I think Bryce Young is closer to that. But that's going to end this video. Sorry for the audio. I'll get that fixed, and I'll see you guys at the next one.